What's up, everybody? We wanted to just say again, happy holidays to everybody and happy new year. We are taking the break off from this week, but we are just going to be giving you guys a best of episode from the year. So from us to you, thank you for another great year. Do you have anything else to say, buddy?
Dude, let's keep fishing, man. I am looking forward to fishing for more and more better experiences with this podcast. I thank all of you so much. Happy holidays, happy new year. We can't wait to see you for season 3 coming up from the One Set Bros. All the love to you.
Yes, we'll be back with season 3 next week. So have a good week and enjoy the episode. We'll see you next week, buddy.
What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green. Don't even need a hit of traffic light. Okay, good.
Welcome to
One Set.
Dude, they got a touchdown. It's entertainment. Let them entertain for 5 seconds for the camera. I mean, they're not doing anything unless they're doing like some type of like wrongful gesture or something, throwing up gang signs or something like that. You know, then
Gang.
gang, gang. I don't know any gang signs. So I'm just like yeah.
Yeah, you just say gang and just leave it right there.
Yeah, just leave it for your imagination, people.
Sasha Banks, free agent. She's obviously doing the Japan gig.
Mercedes Monet.
Yeah, whatever her name is.
Yeah, whatever.
It's kind of tough. Like, I think that Bailey is the weakest of the 4 horsewomen. In the ring. In the ring.
Charlotte's good, but, you know, I feel that she's more like, okay, what are my lines so I can read them back? Where you believe what Becky's saying. You believe what Sasha's saying.
Becky picked the perfect time to get pregnant so that she could get away from that, right?
Yeah. She's like, Seth, put a baby in me.
And she's like, I'm cashing in my money in the bank.
Be colorblind or lose all sense of taste and smell.
Oof. I don't love food like that. And me being like a visual creator, losing my taste, I would absolutely give up on, for sure.
See, I would, in my mind, music you can kind of get visual with, but I feel taste and smell for me, I wouldn't want to lose those. I would rather go the colorblind because you can still do music and be colorblind in a way. I mean, hey, you can still do music when you're blind. Look at, you know, Stevie Wonder and everybody. But you know, I feel I'll be colorblind rather than losing my.
I'm going out there thinking like, oh, I'll have some like extra spending money, like because I'm working 2 shows. And we find out, like, it was after the first day where I was already like, all right, I'm treating myself to breakfast and lunch and dinner, like kind of fancy and bougie. and then the next day, they're like, yeah, I don't think we're performing tomorrow. We're just performing the 4th day, not the 3rd and the 4th. So the second day, I was like, well, looks like it's fast food in Vegas, right?
Yep. Looks like it's ramen and water tonight. Like,
yeah. Hold on.
When we used to play there, but it was I forget that I don't really remember the dimensions, but we had to only keep. It was not big enough for us to have our amps and ourselves on the stage. We basically used the stage to hold our amps and the drummer. And we just, I think we were at that point where we were doing the wireless guitars and everything. So we just put everybody else on the floor and we just had everything else on the back line of the stage. Yeah. So it was insane, the fact that it was like that typical like music meme that goes around like, oh yeah, this is your stage, it's a fully fledged out, you know, house system with everything, and it's just literally like a plyboard like 3x4 stage thing with a so it's like, yeah, we have a whole back line and everything, and you're just literally looking at like a thing, like a square plyboard
Michael and Prince. Like you said, Michael was a child star because Real Mad Joe Jackson, his dad.
Yeah.
Michael, go get a Switch.
Michael. Jermaine.
Dude, I hate
Who
the
that's
laugh.
down swimming pool?
Michael! Marlon! Fill up the town with a swimming pool! Michael! Marlon! You'll get a beating! You hear me?
I hate to laugh about it because, like, those.
I'm basically sitting next to a guy who's been next to like a legend, a god in the music industry. Like,
Sure.
This is awesome.
It's a really cool feeling because you fanboy fast without even
100%.
without even realizing it. You're like, all right, stay cool, like act like it's nothing, but also show appreciation. And it's just like, oh my god, hey.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that they named the show SmackDown after The Rock? Like,
right.
So good.
I mean, what more to show that they believe in you to name a show after you?
Yeah. How much more clout do you have to have? You don't.
Right.
Roman's like, I'm the head of the table. I'm like, and he's like, they named a show
after me.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh man. When you're talking about hydration is not only for people training for championships and marathons. We're talking about daily maintenance people. Jim, did you know that 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated?
I believe it, Anth. I mean, honestly, in my line of work, dealing with teaching children and also dancing with adults my age, younger and older, I can almost tell based off of how well people not just perform athletically, but how we carry ourselves and how we communicate back and forth, our facial gestures and just our energy alone. I can tell when somebody's sluggish and they're sleep deprived versus they're just sluggish because they're a dried up sponge because they are dehydrated, right?
Absolutely. And for people like me who are working the 9 to 5 and, for me gigging at night, proper hydration is definitely crucial to maintain function throughout the day and keeping yourself energized. And that's why proper functional hydration is essential. And who's going to give it to you? Liquid IV, because Liquid IV is the #1 powered hydration brand in America. Their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. I like to use it first thing in the morning. I've been doing a lot of workouts here and there, so I pop it in my water bottle first thing in the morning. Gives me a little boost of energy of what I need. And sometimes during the day when I'm doing that like 2:00, rundown, I'll pop a little one. If not in the morning, it gives me a little bit of that energy that I need. With just one stick, you can hydrate real life 2 times faster than water alone, plus get essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes as the leading sports drink. And not only that, Liquid IV comes in 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting.
Yeah, Anth. I mean, for me personally, like my day to day, I'll wake up and pop a Liquid IV just to get my day started and start off with proper hydration. And then I am like required to be physically active between the hours of like 2 or 3 p.m. until 9, 10, 11, sometimes midnight if I'm doing a backup gig. So I'll do another one maybe around noon, 1 p.m. and that'll keep me going throughout the day. And I just feel so much better. I don't even drink coffee on the regular like that because I don't need to pick me up unless if I'm like really just not sleeping much. And then I'm like, all right, get me that. I don't like to rely on caffeine unless I absolutely feel like I need it. Liquid IV does the trick for me. I don't know about you.
Again, one stick with Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficient than water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drinks, and it's made with quality ingredients, non-GMO, and free of gluten, dairy, and soy.
Liquid IV believes that equitable access to clean and abundant water is the foundation of a healthier world. They partner with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions that help communities protect both their water and their futures. To date, Liquid IV has donated over 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Yeah, man. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use our code 1SETPOD. That's 1SETPOD and at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code 1SETPOD at liquidiv.com.
It's a lot of fun when we have the opportunity to run across a song like, let's say, Neon by John Mayer, right? Because it starts out with the dum bum bum dum bum bum dum bum
Yeah.
bum dum bum bum bum. Like for me,
Very complex song, but yeah.
very complex. But I would generally I would never like choreograph something that's like where it's like the movement is so fluent compared to the music is very staccato, like I would be like
Right. Gotcha.
because the way his lyrics flow when he goes when sky blue gets dark enough to see the colors of the city lights, like that's when I would say when sky blue gets dark enough. Like I would pick those melt moments right then and there because you have the contrast of the intricacies of like the guitar licks behind it. It's like pick and choose what makes sense, right?
Yeah,
because
see, this is where I wanted to get, like, where are you thinking, like, this is where I'm like getting it, like, what, like when you're seeing that, like, what are you thinking in your head, like, of how to interpret that? How do you turn that into dance? And you're just explaining that right now, so go on, please.
Absolutely. We're only an hour and a half in. It's okay.
Only an hour and a half in when we got to it. But no, like, it was cool, like how you said, the fact that like you're seeing like we're taking this song, but like Neon, how it's very integrated with the guitar lick, but then when you hear the lyrics, you know, they're a different type of beat to what the thing. So then how you're saying you're interpreting that is like cool. Like you'll, instead of having like, you know, every beat you're doing a movement, when the lyrics come in, that's when you're changing up to like the halftime movements.
Well, it's when the longevity in letting your arms breathe, letting your body breathe, because if his vocals offer that longevity, it doesn't make total sense to be like, let's chop up the movement and make it staccato here, and let's let the movement breathe when the instrumentation is just like very like specific, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how my mind works. Now, like I said, it's not right or wrong, because some people will say, hey, do the opposite thing and then watch what happens. Try it.
Yeah.
So for me, the alternative that I would maybe consider is maybe do like a take the, now we're going on the I mean, every version of Neon is acoustic, right? I just know that there's a few separate versions.
There's only an acoustic version. He's never done a full band version of Neon, from what I know of.
So, okay, let's do this. This is fine. And it's easy and you'll make sense of it because it's very like an elongated strum, boom, and then it goes the boom boom, and then the same thing, boom, the boom boom, and then boom, go go go, and then da da dum da da dum, and then the same thing, right? So it's not like boom 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 da da da. It doesn't have to be choppy the whole time.
Yeah.
But if you can make that first strum elongated, like boom, and then
gum, and then again, ooh, and then ooh.
Like exaggerating certain beats of those certain things. So,
Well,
and then I guess that's like the dynamic of it. I guess like you're insinuating like, yeah,
it
you're
works.
insinuating certain dynamics of like certain beats of those to like get that like full,
Well,
phrase that out.
It's the longevity of how long the strum lasts is how we try to match how long the movement lasts. Because, like I said, our bodies visually are supposed to be the extra instrument to the music, right? Like that's our goal. So if the strum is going boom and it lasts that long, you're not going to go boom and then be frozen. You're going to want it to breathe boom and then boom, boom, da 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 da, ooh, and then boom, sky blue gets dark enough, and then you can breathe through the lyrics after that, and then that whole dynamic can change. And everything that I've preached for a long time, I think I've said it on here. I think, and if I haven't, first time. What do you do on a roller coaster? Woo, woo, woo. You're excited. What do you do on a train? You fall asleep. Because it's the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So it's important. Like I always preach dynamics to my students because it's like, hey, if you come in, I had a mentor of mine tell me like 15 years ago, hey, if you are that for 2 minutes, people are going to get bored in 30 seconds and walk away because attention span, which we've talked about, if you're, ooh, look what I can do.
Yeah.
And you're just moving around like this for 2 minutes, 30 seconds, people are gone. You have to be able to do both interchangeably, which when I watch you play, I see where you thrive. It's in the songs that you've played for a while and hey, I need to like attack this section a little bit more. I need to like be really cool on this section a little bit more. And those songs, I'm like, yeah, he really gets it here. And as you continue to do these gigs, you're going to find those dynamics and it's going to make you feel like you're interchanging in your performance.
She said the top fruit. She said, she was like, just go to the book. I'm gonna read that one more goddamn time. Oh, hell no. What the hell? What the hell? He's so good, goddamn well. I want to say banana skin.
Have you ever wanted to start your podcast but didn't know where to start? The One Set Bros are here to talk to you about Zencastr. Zencastr is the ultimate based podcasting solution and now the all-in-one podcasting platform, making podcasting easy. They've sure made it easy for us to be able to record our podcast and our episodes every week for you guys. Once you've set up your account, you're simply one click away from recording a high-quality podcast with studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. My personal favorite feature is their multi-layer backups, which ensure our recordings are always in the highest quality, even during unstable web connections. And if you thought you needed multiple tools and services for your podcast, Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform allows you to create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code OneSetPod, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Get the hell out of here. What did you say? Steve Harvey's like, I never seen that. Whoopsie.
Like I said, woke up Sunday morning and she was like, I want to do I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
So you have your agenda for the day, right? You've lived it, right?
But see, what the thing is, since Cheyenne and Jen have seen us at like our blow up thing, you can use that as a tool now to be like, see what happened to them? Keep messing up. This has been one set.
Oh God, this is you're gonna love and hate this at the same time. I said, don't let the door hit you in the whoopsie. I was like, oh wait, there isn't a door. Just whoopsie, leave.
That's great.
Yeah, because it was
all that needed was a mic drop.
it was like one of those roll-up tents. And I just kept like doing the sweep, brush, get out of here. Whoopsie. Leave. Bye.
Like, what was it? The Apollo, the Sandman from the Apollos, like sweeping people off the off the stage, like get the fuck out of here. Woo! Get him, Sandman. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Barely anyone was in their seats, and he was like, you should let me flip you once before we do the show. And I was like, yeah, you're right. You should do it once, because in case I bomb.
Right.
Which, I mean, he launched me, and he's strong. Like, it wasn't a matter of I was nervous about his upper body strength or his strength overall. I was just nervous because I haven't been in the air upside down since Talladega Nights came out. And I was like, I'm upside down in the air. This is not good. So
help me, Tom Cruise.
So I was pretty nervous. I was fine in the practice, except for I landed dead on
I would agree with it though, because you don't want to go into it like raw in the moment, because then that's when, like, if you don't have like a time to practice it to kind of just get the bearing of it, because like you said, you hadn't done that move in a while, so you kind of want to get the muscle memory to kind of do it. So then when you do it in the real thing, you're like, okay, I've already done this, I landed it, cool. So you get that like first little jitter out,
Yeah. So I was confident because I went in the air and I was fine. I didn't like die or anything, but I landed really hard on the backside of my heel to the point where like I had trouble bearing weight on my heel and walking. And I'm like, I have to dance. Oh, alarm again. Snooze. Okay.
Snooze.
So I was backstage anxious about this thing, which granted, happened within like it was slated or choreographed to be within the first 15 seconds of like running out on stage. So at least after it, I was like, everything else is fine. Like I've done all of this choreography before, and I'll be all right.
Right.
So I'm standing back in the wing trying to amp myself up, like, oh, here we go. And I get, hey, fight, right? Because the guy that was in charge of the sound and lights, instead of him being like in the back of the house and looking at the stage dead on, was in the wing. So they were like,
wow,
you're in his way and you have to move. And I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. It's fine. But whatever. And like we were scheduled to go on.
Come on, Jack.
Come on. Biscuit. Biscuit. Yeah, we were scheduled to go on at some certain time, and it was easily 10, 15 minutes after. I'm like, come on, I'm back here anxious. I want to get on stage. So I think I was just in my head about the thing.
Right.
So the music starts for the intro, and me and my buddy that are doing the backup dancing, we run out and we do the first 3-4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I turn the other way. I turn back and look at him, and I'm like, all right, this is happening. Whatever. And I place my foot in his hands, and I jump. I go airborne, and I hear the audience go, whoa. Because I didn't get the height that I needed, so I had to put my hands down.
Right.
To recover, which fortunately,
right,
like when I was telling you, at least I didn't like, because I told you I bombed. I texted you. I was like, "Yeah, man, I bombed on the stage," and you were, and you were like, "What?"
Because it's rare that I hear you say that. Because not that I thought you were joking, but I thought you when you said that, oh, it was just the bomb. I thought it was just like the whole set in general. But so like, when did you get the flip, or did you only get half, and that's what you were using your hands to catch your fall or something?
So on the rotation, I made it like 90% of the way around, and realized I was so close to the 4 that I had to put my hands down to save myself.
Okay, so your hands hit the floor before your feet did.
Yeah, not like
in a way. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, they definitely did, and it's funny, not funny, but
dude, I've been getting this annoying itching feeling under my armpits from the deodorants I've been trying and using, and I can't seem to find something that works for me.
Have you ever tried maybe like a natural deodorant?
Natural deodorant? No. Are you insane?
No. But I am wild. Oh. Wild is the UK's #1 natural deodorant company that focuses on performance, sustainability, and style.
Their mission is to clean up the bathrooms by leaving it free of ugly, single-use plastic bottles and unnecessary chemicals.
You know why Wild is great? Because it actually works, and it's eco-friendly and contains over 98.5% natural ingredients.
They have a fully sustainable design with aluminum cases that last for a lifetime, plus biodegradable, recyclable refills. And you know what's cool? They can actually imprint your name on these aluminum cases for a small additional fee.
Wild is super convenient with flexible subscription options or paying as one-off purchases. And you can customize your order by choosing your case, color, and various scent combinations. I know I have the Ocean Mist, the Fresh Cotton and Sea Salt, and the Orange and Neroli flavors, and they all smell super great. And what's best about them is they don't just wear off immediately, and then all of a sudden you smell like BO.
Yeah, I've been rocking the sandalwood and patchouli scent right now. And again, great scent, lasts like throughout the day, that you're pretty much protected throughout the day. And I also was able to try the mint and aloe vera. Big aloe vera fan, right on point, long lasting, and you can look forward to these cases and scents in a limited edition every month.
Go Wild today with a special discount of 25% off your first order when you get the code OneSetPod at checkout. Go to wearewild.com and use the code OneSetPod at checkout and enjoy. Guess not. Can I use the chip? Can I use the swipe? Or are you going to tell me my card just doesn't work anymore? Like, which is it?
Right. Like, well, so try the chip again. It's saying deactivated. Can you try the swipe? Oh, well, now it's not working. It's saying deactivated. Well, I just got it yesterday. Well, I don't know. Maybe just try to wipe it off. Like, really?
Yeah. You got anything else? No,
Whoopsie.
I don't.
No.
He was like, Hey, have you ever seen the show You? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think it rings a bell. I think I've heard of it.
His name is Penn Badgley. Google him. Do you see him?
Yes,
Okay. So my buddy was like, "You kind of look like that guy," and
I
I
can
was
see
like,
it. I can see where it's coming from.
and I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, but that's not. You know, you know, all white people look alike, right?" And I was like, "Wait, y'all say that about me?" This white guy with brown hair that's, you know, curly a little bit, and I look like all of these guys. It's fine.
You look like all shades of white.
Yeah, seriously. I'd have to go get roasted to look.
But yeah, the concept of it was not necessarily alternative endings, but like if it was rewritten, how that movie could have ended. I thought it'd be a fun little way to start.
I just
the thing
had so
tonight.
many ideas in my mind right now. I was just like, we might. I mean, it's it's 10:37 p.m. on Monday night, April 24th, and there are plenty of movies that I haven't seen. Man, could you imagine if Baby's mom never got shot? Little Mermaid, I would say, tie it into the Titanic, and then I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. I would just have Ariel save Leonardo DiCaprio and then just drown Kate Winslet and be like, "You don't deserve this."
Whoopsie. Yeah.
And then
She never liked you anyway.
oh, iceberg right ahead. Leo, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, iceberg right ahead. Oh, it's a metaphor for your career. Whoopsie.
We have attended multiple shows prior to that and have seen some things that we go, I think I'd rather go eat the worst food in my life. And
Yeah.
wow, I got to timestamp that one.
Yeah, I'd rather have a wasabi smoothie than listen to your voice for about 5 minutes, okay?
Wasabi smoothie?
Clip it.
Wow. Eagles swapped out their number 10 for the number 9 draft pick, Jalen Carter.
Oh yeah, I mean
Oof.
their draft was. There's people mad about how
People
good
are
the
like,
Eagles did in this draft.
it's not even fair, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm
Like-
like, wow, you're so NACL, so table salty right now.
The Sixers just needs to watch the NFL draft for what the Eagles did, and just need the blueprint that to do that in the NBA draft, because the Eagles just came into that draft like a boss, just said, "Hey, we're taking over this shit." Ugh. Like, say something.
Say something.
We're taking over. Say
What?
something. Say something. Huh? Say something. Yeah, with 10 pick, I think we're going to be 9th. Say something. And Jordan took a very bad Bulls team and made them a franchise. So,
Yeah, so in the same parallel, let's talk about Nick Cannon as a father, right?
yeah, that's a franchise right there.
Oh.
But I bring that up because he's like, oh, I was
Put me in,
successful
coach.
here. Yeah. Oh, he put himself in. All right. Yeah. So we were saying,
I think once they hit that 20-point lead, everybody sat the hell down.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
they did.
yeah, we're done. Like,
they panned over. The camera panned to the one guy in the front row. He was sitting there like,
This can't be happening. Like,
And based off my camera angle, it didn't do it justice.
they were a trash team back when I was a kid. They were like, you know, they were like, huh, 8th seed, okay, see you later, bye, see you next year.
Yes.
So when I saw that they were like number 1 this year, when they were like ranked number 1 in their conference, I was like, holy whoopsie. The Denver Nuggets are number 1 in the Western Conference. Who's this team? So, you know, and they swept the Lakers, which I love his commercial with the young Charles. It is so funny. How many championships I'm gonna have? Don't worry. Don't tell me. I'll wait. He's like, you're gonna be waiting.
And you're gonna be waiting.
They never won anything. So freaking funny.
Oh my god.
And he's so anticipated. Don't worry. I'm gonna, how am I gonna get? Don't worry. I'll find out. Like, you're gonna be waiting. Yeah. So usually music is something that I am on the forefront about, always talking about, because I can talk about it for hours, just like you. I mean, you can talk about dance for hours, but if it's something, you know, something outside of that realm or something that you're not interested in, you're like you say, cool. All right, yeah. Doing the like laugh to kind of keep the conversation going, but you're like, all right, you can leave.
or the ever infamous. Wow.
And that's what I've always tried to explain that I love about the form of dance and how you break it down, is because with music, it's the listener sharing the emotion, but you guys, the dancers, bring out the visual and physical emotion from a music piece.
Well,
you know,
and this is
so
that is so exhilarating. Watching this piece is like, there are so many moments early on where it's like just subtle, and I am such a fan of like isolated movement where it's just like like where it's like syncopated with the music, but it's, come on, like how many moments when you watch that you would just like, oh my god, like it's so perfect.
The music is matching the dancer's matching the music. Perfect. You know, just everything's on point. Like you said, they're like, you can't just be moving around to the music without feeling the groove. You just can't be playing an instrument and expecting people to get it. You gotta like feel the groove of what you're playing too.
Well, there has to be rhyme and reason to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's
there's a lot of people that play guitar, and I'm not saying I'm the best out there, but there's difference between, you know, playing a couple chords, but then playing a couple chords with feeling and emotion, you know? So, and that takes a little bit of time too, but you know, again, same topic of what we've been talking about.
I plead the fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Yeah. So we auditioned, like the crew, we auditioned, and they were like, all right, what's your story? Like they did the same thing. They're like, how do we market you? How do we sell you to the public? How do we get the ratings off of you because you have a sob story? And we were just like, nah, we just like to dance. And that's why they were like, hey, cut. Okay, cut.
You're the only thing that I like about me.
You already have it, man. Go. Just keep driving. Keep driving.
Is true. Here I am, still tangled up in you. I'm still tangled up in you. So that's like a little bit of the whole mask of it. And dude, like the ending part of it is just like vibes, dude.
Dude, that was really great.
It's been a while since I played for Jimmy here.
It's been a while.
Doesn't feel very summerish these days right now. I mean, we're getting like the humidity, but the actual like summer nights, nights,
Yeah.
kick it. They're not very summerish right now. We're not getting a lot of sun, but July is probably gonna, kick us in and just say like, yeah, here I am.
Well, it's literally, they say April showers bring May flowers. Like
Mhm.
it was literally not raining in April at all whatsoever. And then May, it was just kind of like, oh, a little.
April was just like,
Yeah. Sup, how you doing?
Sup, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm a little late.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Yeah. But no, I'm stoked for Gunther and McIntyre. Now, I know we've talked about Gunther's name, and we're like, I don't know if we like it. I'm convinced now that I think the name change worked out in his favor because nobody fears the name Walter. If you have like Gunther, that is more of a badass name to me than like, oh, you better watch out, Walter's coming for you.
Okay. So to just piggyback off that.
Yeah.
Easily. Pete Dunne. Dude is
That's
famous.
a different name. I mean, I think
They changed his name to Butch.
yeah, within that aspect, they need to change that back.
No, that's trash.
Definitely trash. Come on, WWE.
Wow, I'm pretty okay that I wasn't held back. Like I feel fine where I am, like mentally, intellectually, kind of thing. Not that I was like a scholar and a gentleman at 17, but
Yeah.
At
Well,
any
well,
rate,
here's something crazy for you. My kindergarten teacher told my mom, "I'll be surprised if he graduates," and she told that to my mom. And when I actually graduated from high school, she went back to that kindergarten teacher and she was like, "Yeah, so what? You were the one that said he may not."
I wish you took your diploma and you were just like, boop, just bopped them on the forehead.
Right on the nose.
Literally.
I'm a teacher. I have off in the summer. I have a little more flexible schedule in the summer.
Right.
I'm going to write 5 to 10 pages every night, and I'm not going to go to bed until I do 5 to 10 pages, something like that. Now, I missed some nights here and there, but the bottom line was that by the end of that summer, like I had a rough draft, a first draft of a feature script. And the whole idea was like, a lot of writers edit as they go along. Like we're our own worst critics as creative people. Right. And so I had to, no matter how bad it was, and no matter how bad I felt like the stories, how bad the characters dialogue was, or how bad I felt this scene was, I just had to get it out. Like you have to out the first draft. You just have to do that.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference, and now I'm on draft 6 of it. So, the editing of it, I mean, a lot of things have changed and improved, but, the first draft is always the hardest part. So then over the last 2 years, I've kind of been prepping for it. And I would say like really began pre-production like in December of this year. So that's when I started like putting out casting calls. In the spring, I met with a very good friend of mine named Leah Savoli, who's a actor, producer, and she also does crowdfunding. And so I had this whole plan of, here's how we're going to raise money for Delco the movie through a crowdfunding site. And it has worked.
But because I have these goals now in mind, I'm like, I need to do the work things that are going to help me get to those places. And then the treats can be Jimmy's on top that can be sprinkled in here and there. But that's where my brain's at right now. So I'm pretty excited.
Get them Jimmys, Jimmy.
Get them, Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy!
Oh, Jimmy!
Stanley's dribble!
No! Ew,
Yikes.
Jimmy. What is wrong with me today?
Stanley.
The water.
Foul. Yep, here we go.
Okay.
It's just such a cool thing to see
sure.
because you hear the stories about that, but when you get to meet those people and it's like, wow, tell me about like your life with your craft in this decade of your life, in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and your 50s and your like, and to be able to like watch them sit there and pan through their memory about their experiences like that, you just sit there in awe. I mean, it's literally like Ed Sheeran watching Andrea Bocelli, right? Which we've talked about before. It's just like in awe about just how legendary. I think he has been my biggest inspiration as like a WWE superstar, in-ring competitor, wrestler, artist in my adult life. Seriously, because I could tell his imagination was just going in so many directions, and I was just like,
yeah,
I want to be on that level. And like he in the ring, he's not Kurt Angle, but he was far from bad.
Right. He definitely was not a bad wrestler. Yeah.
You know, all he really had to do was just slow down or stop. Oh no, Biff Hewitt.
Why would you just run in a straight line, though?
Just cut right or left. Like, seriously.
Juke him out or something. Come on.
He's gonna punch his lights out. Let's go.
Jeez.
And she's like, no, feed him to the wolves.
Like, oh, you want some of this too?
What do I do that makes me walk into a space and say, I'm better than everybody else here? It's such a hard cockiness level thing to say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if you're on that level of you do the daily tasks that make you better at the passion that you do, then your shortcomings are literally by happenstance. I learned one really, really important thing the one semester I went to community college. It's called the 3 L's, lifelong learning. And it's basically preaching you don't stop learning after high school. You don't stop learning after college. You're learning forever. And
like they always try to tell you that, like, you know, it's good to be scared to, you know, take that next risk, because if you're not doing that, then you're not really trying to move and, you know, hit those plateaus. But if you just stay comfortable and stay consistent at something, you're like, okay, I mean, I'm doing, but you're going to be fine, but you're never going to continue to learn. So you always want to try to be learning your craft. You always want to try to be, you know, learning something from somebody or just looking up certain things. I wasn't the biggest Furby fan. I was more on the Tamagotchi side with the, you know, the animatronic or digital pets and everything. So that was a big thing.
Your parents were like advanced.
Yeah. So they're like, well, we can't afford a Furby, but here's this little fake ass pet for you. You know.
So I didn't get a Tamagotchi. I got a Gigapet. So
That's what I had, Gigapet.
oh, you had a Gigapet too?
I was thinking it wasn't a Tamagotchi. It was a Gigapet, I think.
So this is gonna call out how much of a not man I am. My Gigapet wound up with angel wings one day, and I cried. I was scared of what it was. I was like, is this Satan or is it dead? I didn't know, and I was just perplexed, like, what is happening here? And then
I'm a total failure.
I was like, I hit feed when it said hungry.
Yeah.
I hit the button. But like
but I got wings.
but they were also like, hey, this is what life is.
Where's Red Bull when you need it?
Gives you wings.
Yeah. Zing.
Zing har. Wow, this is fun. Okay. Yeah, so Gigapet was my thing. I knew like friends like okay, this is the equivalent to you showing okay, and I mean we're in our mid-30s. We're talking to whoever our target audience is. So maybe I'll speak to my eldest sister here who has nieces, and she's in her early 40s, and they're going into 5th and 7th grade. When they're sending their kids to school with a not iPhone, and the kids around them are like, "Oh, you don't have an iPhone? Poo poo, you're not even cool."
Like, oh, you're not.
I was like,
advanced
"Oh
enough.
yeah, I got a Gigapet," and they're like, "What's that? It's
Yeah.
not a Tamagotchi.
Right.
Not cool.
Not cool. Yeah.
Legitimately, I was like, yeah, well, I danced so I'm already not cool. It's fine."
might as well just add to it. I mean,
Yeah.
But I feel like when you were a kid, if you had like the Tamagotchi, that pretty much showed how responsible you were as a kid. Like, if you can keep a digital pet alive, you were pretty set in your ways. I mean,
Yeah, until you get into, drug addiction and
Yeah,
alcoholism,
like,
and then you have kids, and you're like, wait,
what happened to you?
I
Like,
did
well,
good with my Tamagotchi. Why are my kids friggin' up in school?
Yeah, well, I had a Tamagotchi. He kind of passed away, so I mean, I'm just gonna start sipping this wine here. And it all went downhill from there, man. I went on a 6-month bender. I think we've talked about the Joker with Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, and comparing with Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, I think Heath just brought it to another level with the psychotic portion, where Jack Nicholson brought the comedic side, and then I think Joaquin kind of had a little bit of both in there. Like, he had some comedic, he had some dark side, but then he brought the mental health part in.
I showed it to my parents, and they were like, it was too dark for me. But they were just also preconditioned into the previous Jokers of Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, where they were.
That was a late 90s one, but yeah, that was cool because then you got a lot of the people from All That and everything that appeared on the show, and a lot of celebrities. It was more like
What was his
finding your
name?
whole celebrities and everything.
Danny Tamborelli, I think his
Yeah,
name
I think
was.
so, yeah.
He had a name that just rolled off the tongue, and I was like, that is so genius. I wonder what he's doing right now.
I wonder.
I'm not going to look it up. We'll look it up another time. Or
If you're watching, and we know that you are.
let us know in the comments. What's up, man? Number 9. Some Disney classics were born. Okay, that is my childhood. My favorite Disney movie ever is The Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin are really close seconds. Toy Story is like it's third, but I don't want to call it third because I love Toy Story so much.
I'm right there with you. I mean, if not a little, off on numbers, but I'm right there with all those. I mean, I was big on Aladdin, big on Lion King, Toy Story. I mean, even now, Little Tone is a big Toy Story fan, big Lion King fan. But yeah, I mean, just being able to see a lot of those old Disney movies with him and, kind of replaying them. Like,
And it's honestly because neither of us really want to like sit and watch a 2-hour movie anymore. It's just the way that we're conditioned now. I think we've talked about that here before too, where it's like, Game of Thrones, Sopranos, where they're hour-long episodes versus like Modern Family. They're 22-minute episodes.
it's like The Office, 20, 30-minute episodes. You can go through a whole season in one day.
Yeah.
So with Sopranos, you can get through a whole season in one day, but it's going to take you from like the morning till the night to do that.
Yeah.
That's
a 12 or 13 hour investment.
Could have easily made it. Maybe they could have cut it down to maybe 15 episodes instead of 20.
And they could have condensed those 4 to 6 or 7 episodes into 2 or 3.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. I think, because
because you weren't getting much out of it. You were just getting, Tony's in the hospital. Then you get, conflicts with Carmella and AJ. And then, because AJ wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He was just doing whatever he wanted, blah, blah, blah. And then you get this thing and then business. And then, it's like, okay, nothing's like happening, but something's about to begin. But you're like, come on.
I think first we should, before we get into that, we first should talk about like how surprised are you, or did you think it was definitely happening? Because like I was very like, I don't think he's gonna leave WWE, but at the same time I was like, the guy didn't wrestle for almost 10 years or 8 years, whatever it was, because he was forced to retire. And by the time he was brought back in, there were so many people that he did want to work with that he didn't get to work with, but they're over at the other company. And I think that to me, like Christian being over there, it was like, well, when's Christian's contract up? And then once I heard, oh yeah, no, Edge's contract is coming up, I'm good with it. I'm actually at the point where it's the city of brotherly love, right? For as much as people want to like dog on that, and
for a reason. Mm-hmm. Being a sports fan in this town, it's tough. We're just waiting for that moment. We're waiting for another, we just had a Super Bowl. Before that, we had, the World Series, in 08. So we're waiting for another championship. We want another champion. No, it's coming.
Like I said, that wasn't supposed to be dinner. And I found out my dad was like, I'm making the ribs. I was like,
yeah. Come on, Daddy.
Come on, Zaddy. Over here. Shine was making a dip, and I was contemplating doing the tacos because I knew ribs were coming, and I was like, I can't do all of that while I'm watching the game. Like, I don't want to go into food coma and then just fall asleep at. And I was like, okay, who do the Chiefs play? Because we played the Chiefs on our week coming back from the bye week. I was like, oh, the Chiefs have a bye also. And then I was like,
the Chiefs, us, and the Lions, I believe.
And
Detroit, Detroit Lions, I believe. So all three of us have bye weeks this week.
And the Dolphins do too. And that's who, like, I have Tua on fantasy.
Right.
You didn't watch. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm to talk with you again.
Dude, I'll just try to like subliminally end it because I'm like, I don't feel like arguing over a text or arguing within on a text because I'm like, there's no substance to it.
It's not accomplishing a productive end game, right? It's not like the agreement isn't happening while we're just trying to be like, let me pick my words, or oh, you're attacking me. I'm just gonna speak my mind. Here we go. And then you send it and you're like, oh God, I'm reading it back and that was brutal, right? No, you're way better off talking. When I think about the dynamic, and I'm like, there's no chance that there hasn't been an argument that hasn't gotten heated even once, right?
A lot of couples usually have those nothing fights. Like that, it may not be like big escalating fights, but every couple has like so many minor nothing fights where there's nothing necessarily you're fighting about, you're just fighting the fight, and like nobody's breaking up, nobody's getting divorced, but it's like you just said something at the wrong time to the person, and then they're just like, okay, that's it, we're We should look that up during the episode or whenever. What's the percentage of podcasts that make it to 100 episodes? I would want to know that statistic, because I mean, for us going every week for 100 weeks, how many podcasts can say that? That's one thing too. Getting to 100, but doing it consecutively for 100 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, we, like, to be fair, obviously did some weeks where we recorded twice where we knew we couldn't do the following week, but we never missed a week where we're like, oh no, sorry everybody, we don't have new available content for you. Oh, you shouldn't have to go full-blown Britney Spears on it.
No. Save Britney Spears.
Save Britney.
Leave Britney alone.
Leave her alone. She just won a lawsuit with her dad.
Yeah, she's all right.
She's yeah, she's fine. Oh,
Yeah.
she.
Shouts out to Britney.
Yeah.
We know you're listening.
Hey, Brittany.
Hit us up one more time.
See you soon.
Yeah, she ain't calling.
Nah.
On to the show. And then, cool. That's why we do.
We thought that might happen.
Yeah. So
we're not
100.
trying to rip the paint off of Anthony's wall here, but just in case you were wondering, if you didn't read,
that's a clip.
it's episode 100 over here.
Yep. Tapes on the wall.
Check that out, everyone. All right, now let me start a
Behind
timer.
the sceners.
The sceners. Now we're just gonna do a thing for the whole episode. How long does it take for one of these to fall off the wall?
Right. Dude, we should
starting now.
If we were really into it, we should drink every time these things go down. We would be done after this episode. From being watchers or listeners of podcasts, we've grown to have a love for doing podcasting at this point too. I guess with what I feel 100 episodes means to me is the fact that with this guy standing next to me, I've learned that much more about my best friend in these 100 episodes than I have more in probably in about 20, 25 years of our friendship. And I can't wait to continue to learn more little nuances that we probably never really shared. And, just from the things that we revealed for you guys in this episode, I'm stoked to learn more. And
I know for me, this is a very struggle bus thing for me because like talking and sharing my life with everyone, it's not like something that I'm really good at. I grew up as a dancer where I was just like, hey, someone teach me movement, and I lived through it, and it was like a way for me to communicate and embody my personality without, because not everything has to go in depth to another place. It's like real life, right? We have days that are crucial, important, and build us to a milestone, an accomplishment, something that we drive towards. And then there's days where it's like, it was a day. I think that's realistic. Disagree with me if you want. You could say every day matters. I'm not saying every day doesn't matter. It's just finding balance. Prioritize what you want to change. Because too much change all at once is likely not a good idea. Right? And that can apply to anything. For the most part, you got to make a few concrete changes in one time and then move on to the next thing and try to change, like adjust, modify, make it make sense while maintaining this adjustment that you made first. You have to get over yourself so that you can cater fully to the performers performing your concept, your ideas, your movement that you set on them. You as a creator have to be somewhat invested in or inspired from an experience that you ran into that channels a certain direction.
And that's the hard part of our job.